guys, and welcome to our follow along video from our day trip to Disneyland Paris. Excuse the way I look, we had a long day yesterday, but if I go missing, this is what I actually look like. Right, we're going to start off with going through, I say a haul, it's not really a haul, we got the kids some little trinket bits as we were only going for the day. And then we are going to move on from that to discuss what happened with the priority pass. And just our day in general, if it was worth going for the day or whatever. So we're going to start off with the little gifts, because they are little gifts.
Yeah.
Okay, so start.
What should we do? You start with?
Yes, I as you might have seen in my previous video, I have a Jack bag, a Nightmare Before Christmas, but it's only got Jack on it. So when we was in the park, we didn't see these in February, but we found these little Sally earrings. Look at how beautiful she is. Check her out. Didn't have any Jack ones or anyone else, just Sally. I mean, I don't feel bad about the situation. We got her from, well, in fact, she was in pretty much all the boutiques that sold earrings. Inside the parks and inside Disney Village shops. She was €7. She's obviously like in a pop shape.
Pop form.
But her colouring's nice. Her dress is beautiful. Yeah. You love her. You love anything to do with her. That was mine to go in my bag, so those Jack and Sally together because they belong together. Next up, Michael's lanyard had actually, it was Frankie's. But his original lanyard had broke, so he'd used Frankie's, and then he saw this one to go, because obviously we're going back, to go with his Star Wars. Excuse me, I'm still trying.
Yeah.
It's to go with his Star Wars theme. He's got everything like t-shirts, hats. Both his lounge flies are Star Wars. So yeah, that was €10.
Yeah.
We got that from the end of one of the rides, I think. Was that from the end of Buzz ride? Or was it actually the Pirates?
No, I can't.
Okay, I'm sure it was from one of the end of the rides. But they have all of they had loads of like Star Wars and Aliens and whatnot, which might actually probably be the end of the Buzz ride. But it was €10 regardless. Which for what it is, you could probably get cheaper offline. But I have seen some lanyards in Disney that haven't even got as much detailing on, that were like €20-30 each. So and he's broken. He had to carry his priority card anyway. So yeah, we got that. Next up was the Lily and Frankie had asked for coins. Now, all around the park and in some shops at the end of rides, or in general some shops, they have like these commemorative coins. They've got different patterns on them. And we'd got a load in February and went like mainly the 30th anniversary, but we've got some for we've got Star Wars one, we got Mickey one. Like there's literally all over, and you put €3 in. And you get, or pay €3 in a shop, but you've got machines that you can put these euros in and brings out these coins. Anyway, Lily and Frankie both wanted that's the pirate one.
Yeah, that's Pirates.
From the Pirates of the Caribbean.
You should be able to see that on the screen there.
I mean, you can't do anything. They're just collector's coins. But they were €3 each. We'd actually got these ones in the shop at the end of the Pirates ride. They have them on the counter.
Yeah.
Like a plastic bin thing. We got two of them, because we've got one for Lily and one for Frankie. Then we'd found another one we hadn't actually noticed the last time.
Yeah, in the, what was it? Ratatouille shop. Ratatouille shop.
We'd actually gone in to have a look for, my daughter-in-law wanted a Remy in February. She couldn't find one. She got, I can't remember the brother's called. But she got the brother, but she didn't get it. So we went in there to look for that.
Yeah, we found a Remy coin. So we picked up a couple of those.
Again, they're €3 each. They're all, regardless of what design you want, or if you get it from a shop, or if you get it from one of the machines, either in the village or around the park, they are still €3 each. The metallic, obviously they're gold. Well, we did get some silver, well not this time around, but they did do silver colouring as well.
Yeah, the Star Wars is silver.
But yeah, so we got that because we didn't get it with the other one. We want to get like a little book thing to put like our keepsakes in, to showcase the coins so people can see them.
And this one is Mickey and Minnie with the Eiffel Tower, which I don't remember getting back in February. But yeah, it's nice. All generally the same on the back.
There was a couple more that we wanted, but the machines were down. That's all. That was in the village outside.
Yeah, in the
I can't remember what the shop's called. Fashion?
No.
No.
No, but it was outside one of the shops. They've got I think 5 machines there.
All together.
Yesterday they were all down, so none of them were working, so we couldn't get any coins.
So that's the coins out the way. That's the only coins we got because said we got a few in February. Then we got some badges because when we went in February, we didn't get anything with the date. I know that sounds silly, but we wanted something like with the year that we went because we went as a family.
Yeah.
So we got this time around. 2000. Now I noticed when I've been watching some vlogs in general or just anything about Disney at the moment, they've got the same colouring because obviously it's Anaheim's 70th, or it has been, and then Florida's 50th,
yep,
and Disney's 30th. But when I say that, I mean it's coming to the end of all, like they were all last year, and it's coming to the end, but they celebrated for like a year and a half or 2 years.
Yeah, the 30th's going right up until the end of September. So.
But they've all got the same colouring, so like on all their like badges and their birthdays and stuff, they've all got like the same colouring. So even though that's Disney Paris and obviously that's Disney's, that's Sleeping Beauty's castle. Is it Sleeping Beauty's castle? That one? No. Yes. It's our castle, the same colouring, but our castle. So again, obviously Disneyland Paris is coming to the end of the 30th anniversary. And we found this pin. I didn't see it last time we was there. I think that's quite cute. The little bottom bit moves. I love the colours. I love the 30th. And I know it's so simple. It's so simple, but so effective to the point. I actually got the tattoo of the 30, which there would be another vlog on that. Yeah, that was cute. Very, and I'm not really pink, but purple's my favourite colour. And I just generally think the colouring, the design, as simple as it is, I think it's lovely. And the last pin we got, which Frankie has said that he's going to be stealing.
Yeah, he wants to. He'll try.
He's going to try. Is Pirates of the Caribbean. Just generally skull crossbones.
Quite. When I see it, it was more. I'm taking that home.
It's very cute. Well, I say cute. It's not, but I mean it's cute to us. We find things that other people wouldn't normally find cute or beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Right. Pins are a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah, they range from probably €7 up to I think maybe 15.
On the back of them, I don't know if they're on the back. There's colours.
So,
then there's above the block on the board above where the pins are being sold.
Yeah, that's orange.
The colours will state how much they are.
Yellow.
I think the 2023 and the 30th were probably like €14 each. Didn't 100% look because we'd got some other little bits in together, but I think they were around about that. Yeah, they're going to go on. So they're going to go on the shelves, or they're going to go on our lanyards for when we go next.
I think more probably on the shelves.
More probably on the shelves, yeah, because we're going to go for Halloween.
Yeah.
But there's so many, and they're to the point that people that go regularly or massive Disney fans, they collect them and they trade the.
They do, yeah. Just looking at my lanyard, it does state there about pin trading. You know, it's in French and English there. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but I'll take a picture and insert it in so you can.
Because that's why it's not so much just to hold their pass. People put the pins on the lanyard, which you probably already know. But yeah, there's so many, and they're constantly bringing out different ones all the time. But also, like Loungefly, So we've just bought one for our daughter's birthday coming up, Lily. Because when we went in February, all she wanted was an up pin, either the house or the balloons or something to do with up. But we couldn't actually. Every shop we went in, we couldn't find one. We did look.
Yeah.
But when we bought our last lot of Loungefly bags, we'd actually saw on the same website that they were selling this up pin. It was a mystery pin, but it definitely had something to do with up. So we've bought that. So Loungefly do pins as well, and I'm assuming, well, they must be, because if they do Disney bags and stuff, they must have a deal going on with Disney, so like official. But yeah, so that was that. Then, because I asked the old kids, the Faith and Emily, our other two daughters, what they wanted, but it had to be something small because the other two just wanted a coin, and they said, don't know, like they do. So Emily is a big Donald fan on Donald and Daisy. So we just got this little, I think there's like Tic Tacs inside, it's mints or something. It's mainly for the little box. She could probably put some like lip balm or something in there in general, or some earrings or something to take out with her. But it's mainly for the Daisy. That actually was only €1.
Yeah, I think they was having a sale on them all.
They had Mickey and Minnie. They had the castle. I was trying to find Donald, because I would have bought her both, but I couldn't find Donald anywhere. But yeah, for €1, yeah, that was fine. And I showed her this morning, and she's quite happy. The last thing we got was just a lolly, because I tried everything to look for Faith. It's a lolly in the shape of a rose. I'll keep it quiet for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I actually think it's quite nice.
No, it is cute. There's some other lollies. There's loads of lollies.
Yeah, it's
but it's just because it's a rose, and obviously Beauty and the Beast. I'm assuming that's where.
Yeah, it's quite hard. So I would assume it's like a rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that was $2.99, so like €3.
Yeah. No, yeah, $2.99 there.
Again, we didn't spend €100 on gifts, but if you do spend €100 on gifts, or €100 and over on gifts, not food or drink, but gifts, you are entitled to VAT back.
Yeah, it's to do with the duty free. So anything you spend, you can claim the VAT.
It has to be over
€100.
And it has to be within 3 days.
Yeah, within 3 days.
So what I would recommend, if you are going for a long break, or if you're only going for 1 day, that's different. But if you're going for like a 2 or 3 day break, you literally leave it to like the day before you're going. Buy all your trinkets and all your gifts and whatnot. Get down to Town Hall.
Yeah.
Village Hall, Town Hall.
Yeah, Town Hall.
And that's where they'll get you to fill out all the paperwork. Now we went by Eurotunnel yesterday, and as we stopped in France, as we were coming home, we were waiting to board our train. There is a rest stop. What's it called?
Yeah, so it's like
the
services. Yeah,
like a services. You got, obviously there's like toilet shops and whatnot in there, but in there they have signs on the floor and in English that follow these signs, and this is where you get your VAT back. And then I think it's also the same for airports and however else you're getting home. If you've got to give in your passport, that's kind of the place that you'll ask.
I think if you're taking the Eurostar, when you're in the train station, when you're going through customs, there is a small little counter. But it does state on it, I think it says duty-free tax on it in the train station, and it's right as you go through customs.
And obviously, when I say you have to keep all your receipts.
Yeah, keep all your receipts, because obviously you've got to give them to Town Hall anyway, but they give you a form to fill out, and then you take that form and give it to the duty-free people after customs, and then you get the VAT back.
Right, so again, over €100, and that does not include food or drink. That is literally
just gifts.
Items, like
just gifts.
Doesn't matter what gifts, like clothes and stuff, but it has to be gifts. Although saying that, when I say food or drink, I don't know if that includes like boxes of sweets or whatnot.
Yeah, anything you can buy in the shops.
Shop,
anything you could buy. If you was buying drinks and stuff in the shop, yeah, I think that.
But like restaurants and quick services, and obviously the stuff in the Disney Village, like McDonald's and early sandwich or
no.
whatever, that is not included. It is literally if you spend €47 on a pair of trousers, which we've done, and €45 on a blanket and things like that. Once it's all added together, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be in the same shop. It has to be in a Disney shop.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be in the same shop. So you can go into the main park, or you can go into studios, or even like the Disney shops, the actual Disney shops inside Disney Village. I think that's all it's all included. Right, so that is the trinket side thing done. Right, then next on to our day, I suppose.
Yeah.
Right. The big question, was it worth all of that for one day? Right, we got up at 1 o'clock in the morning. We live about 40 minutes away from Folkestone, which is where we have to get onto the time. I think it's the only place we can.
Yeah, it's the only place for the time.
Right, so this is, by the way, this is our experience. This is how far we live away from it. If you live further, obviously it's going to take you, it's going to be completely different. But this is our experience for our day, and as two people with disabilities. Different disabilities with different disabilities. We had to get up at 1 o'clock in the morning so we could take our medication, make sure everything was ready, and whatnot. And we left our house at
quarter past 2.
Quarter past 2.
Yeah, quarter past 2.
Everything was fine. We was like, yeah, let's go Disney, woo, which it was. Got in the car and off we went. We got to a place. Everything was fine, and the roads were dead, which was great. Like, there was no one on the roads. Like, who would be really, unless there was a lorry at that time in the morning. We got to Kersney Abbey, and which is a bit from us, and we ended up getting followed by a police car, which was hilarious. We hadn't done nothing wrong, but we got followed, and he said, like, we're being followed. I don't know, who are they going to follow us? You didn't do nothing wrong. We're not speeding. We've got in our belts. We're all completely legal. What are we doing wrong? And he was adamant, so I was like, oh, stop it. It's too early for this. But actually, they followed us for around 15 minutes, and then they just stopped in the road and turned around and went back, and there was no one else. I was just like, okay. Which was more funny than concerning, because we hadn't done anything wrong.
No. I think it's probably because we was out.
We were literally, we were the only people on the road. So
late. Yeah.
But anyway, that was the first thing. Then we got to the Euros tunnel. I keep saying stuff, but Euro tunnel, absolutely fine. We'd gone.
Yeah.
They had like the service thing. I needed to go and use the restroom, so I'd gone inside. It's big. It's very clean. The only thing that was open, because obviously being so early in the morning, was the Starbucks. The toilets were open. There are other shops and stuff in there, but obviously not at that time in the morning, nothing was open apart from Starbucks. There was a couple of people in there, and there was a couple of people that were ready to get on the same train as we was. There was a woman with dogs, and there was also a line that said with pets. I don't know, I mean, we have animals, but I've never taken them abroad. But you obviously can, because you'd have to look into that though, but there was a woman with 2 dogs.
Not too sure about how to do that, but
I mean, I don't even know what animals that means either. I mean, we've got dogs, but we've also got snakes. Not that we would probably take our snakes away, but I don't know if we'd be allowed to, because I've never looked into it. But anyway, so you can do that, but look into that. Anyway, so going through customs, take into account also, this was very early in the morning. Obviously, time of day is going to differ to how many people are going on that train, if it's like peak times or whatever.
Yeah.
But ours was very early. We got there, we basically got through customs within minutes.
Everything was easy. It was like, obviously, because you're pre-booking your tickets for the train, you turn up, it's number plate recognition, so it just asks you a couple of details on the screen. You push okay, it prints your ticket, you got to hang it on your rearview mirror, and then they let you through. Obviously, you go to the services, do whatever you need to. There's loads of screens around. They give you information on when you're being called to go line up for your train. You can do it maybe 10-15 minutes earlier than everyone else did.
We managed to, but there was no one there.
No,
it depends on how busy, I suppose, that it is.
But yeah, you go go do that, do customs, English customs, French customs.
Yeah, literally one
It's
after
like,
the other.
yeah, 10 meters apart. So do that, and then it's just go, and then queue up and wait to be allowed to get on a train.
Yeah, we on the train itself, the staff on the train were nice. There didn't seem to be a lot of us. I don't know who pulled in after we'd already gone on, but there was a couple of cars in front of us. We was at the bottom, so they do 2 levels, or both trains that we went on have 2 levels. So you drive on, you literally just drive on. There's someone at the front of you, so you can come up, stop, put your handbrake up, turn your car off, open your windows a little bit. Then when everyone gets on, there is an announcement to basically say, like, if there is an issue, this is going to happen, this alarm set off, please don't put your car on, please don't smoke, all the other stuff. And there is, what I noticed, 1 toilet in every carriage. Obviously, depending on the size of the car, between 3 and 4 cars. We had 3 cars in our carriage. Like I say carriage because it obviously shutters go down.
Our carriage was 4 cars, including us.
Okay. And we were pretty much at the front.
Yeah.
They said it takes 35 minutes to get from Folkestone to Calais, because that's where you get off from Calais. We actually timed it.
So it was about half an hour.
Yeah, it was just under that. And then when you pull up, like the train stops, it gives you actually a couple of minutes prior to the train stopping, it will say, we're arriving at our destination, can you please get to your cars, and whatever. So yeah, you do that. The train stops, the shutters open, there's a member of staff there, like, showing you out,
showing you which way to go.
And once you're off, you're off. Like, you literally, that's it, you're done. No showing your passports or anything like that. You literally just go off to your destination. Now, we had never driven this before, or many years ago, that we didn't drive to Paris, but you had
we've driven to Belgium before.
But we've gone many, like I was pregnant with Faith, which was like 17, 18 years ago. So it was a long time ago, and they drive on the opposite side of the road to us. So although you have done that in the past, it is a constant reminder of, like, which side to be on. And then when you go
drive on the right.
Then when you go around a roundabout, that's even more weird. And as a passenger, because I'm like, oh, why is all the machines on my side? Like, you have to, I'll get to the toll bridge in a minute, but there's like, you have to put tickets in every now and then and different things. And I'm like, why is it on my side? This is stupid design. And then it clicked, because it should be on the other side. Like,
left-handed vehicles.
Left-handed vehicles, yeah. So anyway, straight off, and off we go. We drive for about 15-20 minutes, all motorway driving, and we come across a toll bridge. Now, we knew that the toll road, we knew that the toll was there. We'd already checked our travel before. We didn't know how much it was because we couldn't find how much it was.
Yeah.
We had tried everything, and we'd also tried looking for an alternative route. Oh no, we didn't on the way there because we didn't really mind as such.
No.
Because obviously tolls here, you pay, I know, depending on the vehicle, and I also know depending, I think it's like Dartford, if you can get there like before a certain time,
I think it's
don't pay or whatever.
certain times and stuff.
Obviously this is the only toll that we've had experience with. It's British ones, and we pay for a standard car, or even a 7-seater. I think the most we've ever paid is like £5 or something.
Yeah.
And you suck that up. It's like, I don't like it, but it is what it is. So anyway, you drive up to this toll and you expect to pay. Well, that's what we do, isn't it? You drive to it and you pay there and then you go off. But no, it just spits out a ticket.
It gives you a ticket.
And you don't, and there's no humans there either. It's just all machines. Like, there is no humans at all. And then the barriers, you take the ticket, the barrier goes up and off you go. We've been driving all motorway driving. Oh, and by the way, there was like services every 15 minutes. It was so good. Because I have to use restrooms quite a lot. So for one reason or another, it was good for me. We could literally, like, every 15 minutes there was, and it was decent, and they were clean, and there was everything there. You can get fuel, coffees, just like our motos. So what we got here, is that what the name of them?
Services.
Well, services. It's the same name, services, but it's literally every 15 minutes. I don't even know how they make money, because they're literally every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But that was good. But anyway, we was driving on this road for about an hour and a...
No, it was probably a good couple of hours.
A good couple of hours. And I'm like, where do we have to pay then? Like, because I obviously don't want to get fined, and you want to respect other people's... Like, you don't want to, like... So he's like, well, I'm sure if we got to turn off at a little road, then surely it's like if you went another way. And I'm like, no, sure, like, why did we not know this? Anyway, about 2 hours, just before our journey had finished, we come across the toll thing again. And this is the one that no humans again, no humans. Just the same as ours, an X or a tick or whatever to drive up and so on. So we did that.
Yeah, they do have different lanes for if you was going to pay cash or you're going to pay card.
Not yet.
So choose whichever you want to go to.
So anyway, what didn't matter to us. So we just pulled up and put the ticket in, and we got euro coins left from
February.
From February. So we got like, I don't know, 15 euros in coins, whatever. So we took that to pay the toll because that's what we thought. Yeah, no. 24 euros. Are you kidding me? And that's not 2 ways. That is 1 way.
Yep, just 1 way.
But I can't complain to anyone or like, what on earth? Because there's no one there. They can't say that they're charging that amount of money for staff because there was none. Like we went there at like, I don't know, 7:30 in the morning, maybe, the 8:30 their time, whatever it was. It was early in the morning, and then when we got back, it was late in the evening. There was no one either times. And so I am now, we can't do nothing about it. We've got to pay it. And I wouldn't not pay it because we're in someone else's country. So I'm fuming. Not gonna lie to you, I'm fuming. So we've carried on, didn't want to spoil our holiday. Oh, and in between that, he's got a newish car, a reasonably new car, and we had to stop a few times because the signal for low tyre pressure on all 4 of his tyres had come up, and we had done that before we left, and the car had recently been serviced on top of that, and we couldn't find what the problem is, and it kept coming up, so we had to keep stopping just to make sure that we hadn't run over anything or whatever. So by the time we have got to this whole bridge, my anxiety is like, oh no, I'm not going. I'm going to go home. I even took my ears off because I was ready. So I was like, there's no point because we're not going to make it. I'm going to go home. I just want to go home. Anyway, once we actually got to Disney, we got through Toll Bridge. Everything was fine after the second lot of toll. After paying the 20, I think it was it 24 euros? It worked
24 euros.
21 pounds.
It works out £21.
We paid with our Monzo card, and actually, to be fair, we took cash as well.
Yeah,
and the Monzo was a pretty good rate. We'll get onto that in a minute because, like, that's a completely different story. So yeah, £21, 24 euros. Got through the toll. The car had stopped giving signs and whatever, and we put in the address for the Disney car park.
The address I got was from online, and it was supposed to take you to the Disneyland car park, but instead it actually took us to the train station car park, which in theory is actually cheaper to park in than the Disneyland car park.
Price.
Yeah, the Disneyland car park is 30 euros for the day. The train station, I think we paid 16 euros. Yeah, we paid 16 euros, and we was there from 9:30
for 12 hours. It was 18 euros something.
Yeah, so we was there from 9:30 till 5:30, 6 o'clock, I think it was, and it was like 16 euros.
I mean, that would depend on if there is parking spaces because it's on like a multi-story car park, and they are revamping it.
Yeah, they're revamping some of the upper areas.
But yeah, that was a touch. Considering I just forked out all that money for the toll, that was a touch. And also with the Disneyland car park, you've got to be out by an hour. Well, when the park closes, and different times in the winter, different times in summer, but the rides close, and then the D-lights and the show, like on the castle, the fireworks, and that begins. But before that begins, that's technically when the park closes, and you have to be out of that car park when the park closes, so you don't get to watch the shows.
It's an hour before the park closes.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what it says on the Disneyland Paris website. Is the car park closes an hour before the park.
Oh, that's shocking.
Which is
considering how much money you're paying in general on tickets or for the car park, but
yeah.
But also different times it closes in different times. Like winter, it closes for 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in one park, 6 o'clock in the other. Summer it opens later, so you would have to double check that. But I would say if you can get into the
train station.
Train station. There is a price. You might even be able to find the price list online. We don't know. If we can, we'll put it up.
Yeah.
Because we wasn't meant to go there. We was meant to be going to the actual Disney car park.
We should have taken a photo of the price tariff. But yeah, it depends on how long you actually stay in that car park, depending on how much
you're paying. But the 12 hours
was 18 euros.
And I think that might have been 12 hours, because I think that was the one I looked at, because that's what I'm thinking, how long we would have been there. But if we can find it, we'll put it up. But that is for the... I'm going to butcher this.
It's the train station. Disneyland Paris train station.
It's not Disneyland Paris, or is it Mother Valet Chesney? Oh, probably. I'm really sorry. If anyone actually can speak French properly or is French, I am really sorry. But that one. So that was a bargain. Oh, and the bonus is that car park is actually closer to the actual parks than the Disney one. Yeah,
it's actually... Yeah, it's a lot closer, considering that the People Mover is still being refurbished.
Yeah.
So the walk would have been a lot longer.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So anyway, we parked the car. So we've got a bonus on that. And then we had to go and get his priority pass.
Yeah. It was a very easy process. When going to collect it, coming up to where you actually enter the park, on the right hand side, you'll see like the disabled symbol. You go speak to a cast member, they'll just ask to see your card,
or your any form of your disability,
like our access card that I've got, which shows my disability, and then they just tell you where to go. You go to a counter, they ask your name, they ask to see your card, and then you just sort of they print it off and they give it to you. As in a previous video, we said about the 25% discount you get with your priority card. We actually found out that you can get that if you purchase your tickets at the park. So obviously you got to apply for your priority card and then buy your tickets at the park. I'm not 100% sure whether you can actually buy your tickets online and still get the discount. No, you can't buy them online, but if you phone them and contact them, I'm not 100% sure whether you can.
We phoned them the day before we was going, and we phoned Disney, spoke to an American lady, and we had explained the situation, and she said, when are you going? And we said, tomorrow. And she said, if you'd have phoned me 3 days ago, I could have cancelled your ticket, applied the discount, and then bought your tickets again. But because you're going like tomorrow, then there's not much I can do about it. But you can ask whoever hands you your priority card tomorrow about it. So, which is what we did. The woman behind the counter in actual Disneyland, we bought our tickets online. So the woman on the lady that we spoke to, cast member, she was really lovely, really helpful. She did have a look, but what she was saying was, you already have a discount by buying your tickets online.
Yeah, buying your tickets online, you have more of a discount than actually buying them when you're at the counter.
So there isn't anything that basically we can't add to another discount. Yeah,
it's like our tickets that we actually bought for the day was for the 2 parks was £167.
And the tickets aren't the same price all the time.
For different days, different times of year, they do vary. But you can purchase a ticket just for the 1 park, so it does vary on cost. But the woman said she'd checked the price.
She did, to be fair.
She did, and I think she said it was £140 with the discount. So it was about £27 discount buying the tickets. But she was actually quite surprised on how much we paid for the day.
Yeah, she said how cheap they were already.
Yeah.
I mean, and let's be honest, they're not cheap. They're cheaper than what you can get, but they're not cheap. But anyway, but that went smoothly. The only thing I will say as well is the queuing. We didn't have to queue a lot. I'm not like in general, but to get the priority pass, there is no seating area.
Yeah, there's no seating area for when you're waiting to get to that counter.
And I'm not 100% sure, but I don't know if everyone that was in that queue was there for a disability. I don't know if you had to queue there for other reasons, like if you had an issue. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it was just for disability. And there was, now also again, this was like 9:10 in the morning or something like that. That there was only 3 counters that was on.
Yeah, 3 counters. We got, I think when we got there, there was 2 other families in front of us, and there was 3 counters open, and I think we was in the queue for maybe 10-15 minutes.
No, that's not long. We went to Disney and we went in peak time. It was teething when we got in, but what we shouldn't be whinging about queuing for 15 minutes. But considering it is a disability line, I know disabilities come in all forms. I know it does. But for those of us or people that have struggled with mobility,
yeah,
you would have thought that there was at least, not that you have to wait. You should have to wait, like regardless of like what nationality you are or anything. A queue's a queue, and the British do that well. But we should be able to, like, there should have been somewhere to sit.
Yeah. Saying that, obviously using the priority card to for the rides,
there was somewhere to sit.
Yeah, on majority of the rides there was always somewhere that you can sit. Some rides there wasn't, like Pirates. There was a bench, but you could only probably sit 2 people on that bench, and it weren't a really big like area to sort of stand.
The pros with the priority pass, every ride and restaurant, if there is a disability, like which is standard to here, you know, like the person in a wheelchair, like what you would class as a disability sign, it's the same over there. It's universal. So where you see that sign is where you go, and that includes on rides, which normally that sign is at the exit.
Yeah.
Or round about the exit. Every ride that we went on yesterday had it was at the exit. So what you do is you walk there. Sometimes there is someone at the front that wants to see your badge. Sometimes you just like a pass. Sometimes you just wait there and someone comes out and then wants to see you. You have to show your pass regardless. That's why we've got the lanyard. Keep it around your neck. People are going to want to see it, which is fair enough. Especially as it was heaving yesterday. So yeah, every ride that we went to. So you go to the exit and you follow the signs. Basically, you stand there. You wait for someone to come and get you. Now, we went on Small World, which has just opened, or the last couple of days has opened, and it was manic. And we weren't the only ones that were on the disability.
No, I think the queue for It's a Small World was something like 55 minutes.
And this was early. Like this is like the first ride that we did.
I think it was probably 10:30. So the park had only been open an hour.
Well, it'd been open even for people that had magic hour, but it was heaving. But there was a lady. We have got a photo. We're not going to put her. We're going to try to get not her in it because I wanted the boat.
Yeah.
But there was a lady that was in a wheelchair, and she had what we assume is her husband or partner and her child with her. And they had a boat that was specially designed for a wheelchair.
Yep.
It had a ramp in it, and it also had 2 seats, so her husband and her son, which is we assume are, could sit there. And cast members stopped everything. Like the whole ride had stopped. There was 2 or 3 cast members that come in and got her on the boat, strapped her in.
Make sure everything was
done
safe.
all that. The husband, the other 2 people that was with her, sat down. They got off. They made sure everything was secure and safe. They started the ride, and they'd done the same to get her off. And they say this boat was specially designed for a wheelchair. Like it has a ramp and everything on it, which I thought was really lovely. I think Pirates has got something similar, but I didn't see it.
Yeah.
But for a Small World, 100%. I thought that was really lovely. And as I said in other videos, there are rides that have specially designed, like when we got onto Buzz, for example, because obviously they can see that you struggle with
Yeah.
walking, they
Yeah.
offered to complete, because it's like
It's
a
like a
conveyor
conveyor.
belt.
Yeah, like a
So
conveyor.
even though you're getting onto the ride, you're still moving. But they did offer to completely stop it,
Yeah,
so
I
you
could
could
get
get on, and the same to get off.
Yeah.
Oh, and Peter Pan, I think that was a similar thing. But anyway, so there are certain rides. I can't say them all because I generally don't know, because I haven't noticed on all rides. If you were like completely immobile. But there are rides that you can get your wheelchair on, so you don't have to get out your wheelchair, or if you can't get out your wheelchair.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about Pirates though, because obviously you got the when it dips. I don't think that would be quite safe. I don't think that would be quite safe for a wheelchair.
Maybe not. You might be right. Well, again, as I said before, if you look on the app, the Disneyland Paris app itself, it does have like a disability thing. To tell you like what rides are suitable and what's not, and it excuse the snoring from the left. That's my dog. You just snoring. I just heard.
Yeah, if you can hear the snoring,
it's the dog.
It's the dog.
So yeah, rides, disability access. We managed to get on everything that we wanted to get on. The busiest ride was Pirates.
Yeah, it was Pirates. I think even the standard line for that was over an hour, and even in the disability line, I think we waited maybe 15.
And when we came out, it was
15 minutes.
Right. The thing is, again, different disabilities. Like you had, well, I'm assuming there's going to be kids with autism, with other development issues as well as physical issues. I have physical issues and I have anxiety, and they just squish so many people in, even on the disability side, that I was like, I can't do it. I've got to get out. Because it's dark. It's enclosed. I mean, obviously it's not enclosed when you start going off, but the waiting it was just a lot. And there wasn't anywhere for us to sit because there was only one bench, and someone else was sitting, which they looked like they should have sat on there. I'm not saying no different, like they needed to sit, fair enough.
Yeah, and like I said, it was a small bench and only 2 people could get on it.
But I think, like, for example, just for an example, we saw Chip and Dale, and you get priority access for that as well. Yeah,
for the character meets, if you, with the priority pass, you go show the cast member,
or the handler that's with the character.
So sometimes, if it isn't a big queue, they'll probably get you in a couple of minutes, or they'll give you a ticket with a time to come back. We had to wait maybe 10 minutes, which wasn't too bad because we was right by the toilet. You needed a toilet. There was a couple of stones that we could sit down on. But yeah, 10-minute wait, and then we met Chip and Dale.
But by the time we got off Pirates, the queue, I mean, obviously it wasn't, because like it kind of does a snake, doesn't it? When you know what I'm talking about, when you're waiting, you go back and forth on yourself. But the amount of people looked the same on both sides. So you got the people that were queuing up for standard queuing, and then you got the people that were queuing up for priority. Now, priority does not mean instant access. It means you're going to get on quicker, but it isn't going to mean like you take complete priority over everyone else. They're going to put some other people that have been waiting there an hour before they're going to put you on. And to be fair, so they should. Like, I've been on both sides, so that isn't the issue. But Pirates, it was just, there were so many people on both sides. It was just like, I don't know. Well, it was just overwhelming. For me personally, it was overwhelming. Pirates was probably the worst ride for that on that particular day. Yeah,
I think, where obviously you get off and then you go through to the shop, that area is very compact. So, I think width-wise is probably only maybe 3 or 4 people wide, if you said like 3 or 4 people wide. And then obviously with the queue coming in from the priority pass people, there were groups of maybe 4 or 5, and they were huddled, so it made it a lot tighter and more compact in that area. Obviously with everyone getting off as well, like each boat has maybe 16-17 people on, so with that group of people coming out trying to squeeze past everyone in that queue was.
It was a lot. I had to.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
I had to find a corner after that, and I mean, like if you suffered the same thing, like also, as I say that, like you're thinking, well, if you were that badly anxiety, why would you go to somewhere like Disneyland? And you're absolutely right. We went in February and there were people. It just wasn't as bad. And then we chose a day that was in the middle of the week. Although it's obviously coming up for warmer, we did check and see if there was like school holidays and things like that. But it was just like, I was just like, look, I want to go. It's for the day. We'll go. And it's had issues. But on the whole, apart Pirates, I was got to say, I had a couple of other incidents, but Pirates was definitely the worst. Yeah. Not the ride. I love the ride. But the situation.
It's
And you couldn't sit down, your leg was swelling up. We couldn't get a wheelchair because it'd all come out. I'd gone out because we didn't take a ride, and we just thought we could just hire one out there. And obviously we've already said that you can't have the disability unless you have a mobility scooter. They don't hire them there.
No. But yeah, I think Pirates was definitely the worst on space.
No, it was horrendous.
Yeah, it's a small world. I think there was 2 benches, and they were quite big benches. Yeah. You could probably fit 5 people on each bench.
And to be fair, the queue for the priority wasn't even big on that. You had the lady that was in front of us was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And then you had a couple of like little families, like a small family. I don't know if it was a children or, but no one else needed to. Me and you sat down.
Yeah.
But no one else seemed to want to, and there was space. Like there was but no one else sat down. The only other thing, the difference between Pirates and Small World is that the Pirates is all indoors, isn't it? So you feel like there's a lot more going on. There's a lot more people because you're enclosed. Where the Small World, when you wait, it's all outside.
Yeah, it's all outside.
Or you're undercover, but it's all open. But yeah, every other queue was good for seat-in areas.
I'm just thinking. So we done Buzz.
That was pretty much a walk on.
Yeah, we had to. The priority access area is outside. You wait for a cast member. He come and got us.
There wasn't
see
any
the card.
There, was there?
Yeah, no seats there, but we waited like a minute. He come out, see us, took us through.
Offered to stop the ride.
Yeah, then we waited maybe another minute. He let a couple of people go on. Then he asked if he wanted to stop the ride, which it rather not. It caused too much aggro.
You just managed. Yeah. You managed.
So yeah, we got on that. It was nice and easy. It's a Small World. That was nice and easy. We done Alice's Labyrinth.
We did make a mistake in that, and that was my fault.
Yeah. Someone wanted to see the little castle.
I thought, because we'd already got to the middle, there's a disability access, so you can go pretty much straight in.
Yeah, through the first little labyrinth area, there's gates that have got the obviously disability sign on, so you can open them and go through, and then it cuts off some of the queuing area, which was nice. But then when you get to near the exit, you can go through another maze and go and see a little castle, which
I thought,
which we generally thought that it might have been just we walk around and then get to it, but no, it was a proper full-on maze.
And then obviously you've got little kids.
When you get to the castle, it's not like a walk through and then you go to the exit. It's like you can go up the castle, have a look, and stuff, but then you've got to come back out the maze.
Back away, okay.
There wasn't a way to go just through and out. It's like you got to come back out, and
it was fun though. But because we got lost and because little kids are running around, we didn't want to. Well, we didn't want to be. Obviously, little kids are running around. It's Disney. It's going to be little kids. That's fine. That's not my issue. But we didn't want to be knocked over because like no one was looking what they were doing. Kids like, where mummy and dad? Like you would. We've got children, not like we know. But that was my fault because we'd seen the disability exit and he was like, shall we go? And I'm like, oh, what's the castle? It's only round here. It was not round here. And then when we did find it, we realised. But again, we done it. At least we done it.
Yep.
The other thing was the waiting, because at the top of the maze, in the middle, well, at the back of the maze is the Cheshire Cat. It's made of flowers, I think. Is it made of flowers? It's a big Cheshire Cat face.
Yeah, we got a picture. I'll put it in.
And we were thinking, why is all these people stopping? Like, what's the matter? Is there something? Are you meeting someone up there or whatever? Because like the queue was going right back, and we're just queuing, and it wasn't. It was people taking, not even a cast member, like people taking pictures.
Yeah, people just stopping to take pictures.
As I said, we're British, obviously, so we respect a queue. It's built in us. So we didn't want to initially push past everyone just to get out because we didn't want to be rude. But initially we should have pushed past people to get out because it was a long way. But we didn't do that. Anyway, that was because we hadn't done that before, so we done that. So that
was fine. So then, what did we do? Peter Pan.
Peter Pan.
Yeah, we done Peter Pan. That was quite quick to get on. I think we waited.
It's about a minute to go around anyway.
Yeah, I think we waited maybe a couple of minutes to get on. There was a couple of little stalls. Pinocchio, same again. That area was nice and big. I think there was a bench as well that was quite big. But once again, we didn't have to wait long to get onto that. And then we done
Tower Terror. We had to wait a little bit for Tower Terror, and there was nowhere to sit there.
Tower Terror. No, I think maybe 4 minutes, maybe 4.
But when I say we wait, what I like, they literally they put you're in a queue. Well, you're not in a queue. You're in an area, and then they take you on and put you straight on the ride. So if you're waiting 4 minutes, that's as much, or however long you're waiting. As soon as they've opened, let you in, you're going on the ride. And it was the same with the Tower Terror.
Yeah.
And what else did we do in the studios? The
Spider-Man.
Web slingers.
Yeah, web slingers.
We didn't have to wait much for that either.
Maybe another 5 minutes for that. Obviously, they bring you through your own little area.
They bring you where you come from. If you've been on web slingers, they take you straight into the Peter Parker bit. Yeah. So that's where you go in, where Peter Parker does his thing, and you see the spiders. But then you queue up on the other side. So like you miss the first bit of the queue, but you're in the very last bit after you've seen Peter Parker.
Yeah, so that weren't bad. We done Cars Road Trip.
We did do Cars Road Trip.
Yeah, that wasn't bad either. I think nice little area. I think there was a bench there as well.
There was a bench.
Yeah, bench there as well. So and then they got us on that maybe.
And that's all like a couple of minutes. Well.
Yeah, couple of minutes on that because they were already loading people on, and I think they have the disability bit right at the front, so you get right on the first carriage.
Which again, it does
which was
tilt
alright.
And stuff. We don't need to use a wheelchair all the time. For the people that are in wheelchairs all the time, I did notice that the first carriage that we was on, they had like a slope thing that could have been pulled out, and the carriages that do tilt.
Yeah, anyway. when you're on it and like in the attraction, like the carriages do this to make it seem like you're in an earthquake. But such.
I'm assuming if you was in a wheelchair, your carriage wouldn't do that.
I don't know, or they might strap it down so you don't move.
No. But on hold, the priority pass. If you need it.
Yeah, if you have a disability and you've never thought about it before,
it costs you nothing.
Yeah, it costs nothing. The application online is easy. Obviously, do it a month before.
You have to prove you have that disability, though.
Yeah, obviously you can apply online, and it doesn't ask you to upload any documents or anything.
Your photo.
Just your photo. Just a photo of yourself. But obviously, when picking it up, you got to show documents, or obviously you can't get the pass.
Well, to be fair, you have to show your documents before they even allow you to go in to pick it up anyway.
A cast member. Yeah, the cast member just asked to see. Obviously, I think it's just to make sure that you've got your documents. But yeah, if you've got a disability, I would say it's worth it. If you struggle to be in queues, can't stand.
There is a list when you apply. There is a list of what they class
as disability.
As they class as a disability, what you would need it for. Also, the parade and the fireworks. There is a section that they corner off for people with disabilities.
Yeah. It's at the it's at the top of Main Street on the left hand side. You get your own area, I would say the only thing with that is there's only two benches. And I would say the benches are maybe wide enough for four people. But there are only two benches. I did see a couple of people sitting on the curb, but they look like they obviously struggling to get on the floor. So I think the only thing with that would be if they had more seating in that area for disabled people.
I think, to be fair, I think that's the main theme around Disney. Now, don't get me wrong, there's walls and there is like benches and there is certain, and the seating areas. We did notice, especially in Avengers Campus, there are a lot of tall tables.
Yeah,
but there's no chairs.
Yeah, there's a lot of tables around the top end of Avengers Campus. But no, I think there was one bench that I actually see, which was right next to the food truck.
Yes, there is the walls, isn't there, by like walls, but right by Flight Force. You know, we've got the flower beds.
Yep,
there's like low walls.
There's low walls by Flight Force that you can obviously sit on. But other than that, I don't think there was.
And there's a picnic area by the truck by Cars Road Trip.
Yeah.
In the back, there's a little one.
Yeah.
If you see like food trucks, normally there is like a little seating area, but it is only a little seating area. And with the disability area for the shows, if you get there early, like we got there 15-20 minutes before the parade had started. Well, we needed rest, in all honesty. So we saw the benches. We went there again. There was a cast member on the front of the rope. And you have to show your pass.
Show your pass. Obviously, he'll let you in. He did come in a few times because people were just coming underneath the rope to obviously get a good space, but you will get told off. Yeah.
So the big question: was it worth going for the day? Right, we went for a day. We was awake for 23 hours. Now that is a lot for anyone, but it really was a lot for us. Now, without the priority pass, I would say no.
Yeah,
because we wouldn't have got on half as what we got on.
No, with obviously the queue times, I think the lowest queue time I actually see was probably 25 minutes, and the highest was 75, which I think was for Big Thunder Mountain. But yeah, if we was having to go and queue up, I think we would have only maybe got one parking. We wouldn't have been able to go over to the studios and see that. But obviously with the priority pass, it cut down our time. We got to do virtually what we wanted to do.
The ones we wanted to do that we didn't were closed, so we didn't really have a choice anyway.
Yeah, Phantom Manor was closed.
Indiana Jones was closed because we hadn't done that before.
Yeah, Indiana Jones was
Crush's
closed.
Coaster.
And Crush's Coaster, which actually did open in the afternoon
we were going home.
After we left, they opened. But yeah, I would say it was worth it going for the day. It was mainly to check out the priority pass and see what we could do, and how much we can get done. It was to make a video, and obviously
to spend the day together.
We done like a previous video. We'll talk about traveling too, about the priority pass, and obviously now we've done it. We know what to expect, and stuff like that, and mainly inform you guys of what it is, because there is no real information online on the Disneyland Paris website about the card,
or even about the discount.
Yeah, or what it entails and how you get the discount. It says you get the discount, but it doesn't explain how or where you can get it. Why you can get it. To the point, actually, as I said earlier, when we phoned them, or I phoned the Disneyland themselves to find out about the discount with the Priority Pass, and I said, but because we can't find anything online, and she actually said, well, you're not gonna, they're not gonna tell you. So, no, it is what it is.
Also, I think that if we'd have taken our children, and I know you think, oh, mean parents, they had 5 days, trust me, they had 5 days. We wouldn't have been able to get as much done. I don't think, because we would have had kids to worry about, like more to the point. Like one of them, I want to do this, another one, I want to do that. But our priority passes would have covered the children. Well,
yeah. Well, thinking of that, the priority pass only lets a certain amount of people on, and I'm not.
I think it's 3 other people, so I think
Three,
it's like 4 of you.
3 or maybe 4. We're not 100% sure on that.
I think if there's 4 of you, so say it's 4, I think it's like 4 in total, but you have like another child, I don't think they're going to say to you, look, that ain't going on.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how it's going to work. But for us, I say it's lucky, it's not lucky because I'd rather not, but we're both entitled to priority passes. I only got it for him this time because there was only 2 of us going, so there was no point in me getting one, or there was just no point. But when we go as a family again, we will both have to get the priority passes, so all our children, so we can all be together.
Basically to make sure that we can all get on together, rather than them saying, oh no, only 4 people can go on and then the other 2 have got to go queue up.
All in all, we had a nice day.
Yeah, good day.
I don't think we mentioned, just quickly, on the way home on the Eurostar and the Eurotunnel in France, it's the same situation as in England. It's got the services and whatnot, but we got there early because we were done. We were like, we're just gonna have to. We left a bit earlier. We wanted to basically have a nap.
When we got to Calais to go through, because we was there early, it actually gave us an option to get the earlier train
with no charge.
Which was nice.
Because we just wanted to go home at this point.
Because all we had to wait was, I think it was 15 minutes for our call time.
Yeah.
And I think maybe we waited
half an hour.
Maybe half an hour, 40 minutes to actually
and once you've gone
get
past,
on the train.
I mean, I keep going on about toilets. I don't have an obsession, but it's something that is useful.
Yes, yeah. Where you queue up before you get on the train, there are toilets. I think in Calais I saw 4 toilets around us.
Yeah. So even if you're waiting, you normally wait about half an hour, depending on when you decide to go through. But we always do it as soon as we get called. We go and queue up for anything. And we had like a half an hour wait on each side before they loaded the cars on. But on both sides, there is toilets. So you've parked your car and you're waiting. You can, if you need to nip to the toilet, you can nip to the toilet. I didn't notice in England, but 100% in France, they also had vending machines. I thought it was like a smoking hut initially, because smoking is still quite big in France. But when I looked closer, it actually said cold and hot drinks, and I noticed the vending machine. So if you're hungry, you want a cup of coffee or whatever, I didn't use them, but I could see that they were working. But if you want that, then you just literally park your car. When we parked our car on the way coming home, we basically took all our rubbish out that we'd had, because we'd had snacks in the car. We made sure everything was in our bags and stuff, so when we got home we could just take them out and get in the house. And there were other people doing the same, and there was a woman walking her dogs, and so on and so forth. All in all, Disney in general, love Disney. Overly priced, always going to be. There's no cheap way of doing Disney. Well, there are cheaper ways, but it's never going to be cheap. It was a lot for us. I don't know if we'll do a day again. I think we may have to get a hotel.
No.
So we can have a break in the day.
Yeah, I think the best thing would probably be, if you was just planning to do a day, get a hotel for overnight and travel back the following day, because obviously you're going to need that rest. I think if we had a hotel, it would have been.
It wouldn't be so bad this morning.
Yeah, it would have been maybe sort of mid-afternoon, go back to the hotel and sort of just recharge for a couple of hours, and then you've got the rest of the evening to go do some more rides.
So dogs
to do some more rides, and then obviously see the fireworks and stuff, and then and then go back to the hotel.
And I mean, you could do it either way, though, couldn't you? You could get a hotel for the night before you go into the parks, and then after the parks go home, because you would have had. Oh, we had to leave at 1 o'clock in the morning. Well, we got up at 1 o'clock in the morning, but to leave at 2 in the morning. If you woke up at like 7 and then went down for breakfast or had some breakfast, then done the day at the park, you could still probably not be as bad to get home, depending on where you live. Obviously.
Yeah, you could do it either way. Yeah, you could go get a hotel the night before, and then you'll be up nice and fresh for the park, do the park, and then just travel home, depending on how far you live away from stuff. Or go early in the morning, do a bit of the park, go to the hotel, have the night, go back to the hotel, travel back the following day. I think that's definitely what we would do next time, is get a hotel for overnight.
Yeah, it was too much. But that, I mean, if you, let's say if you're able-bodied, if you're able at anything, and you can do it, then do it. And also, we're 40, and I know that's not a ripe age, but it's no 20. Well, anyway, so to summary, travel, Eurostar, Eurotunnel, 100% recommend. And prices vary on certain days, so check the prices, but 100% recommend them. Disney for a day, love Disney. Probably won't be doing it in a day. Well, no, 100% I won't be able to. Like, physically can't do it. I'm done, mate. I'm done. Toll, not a happy bunny. Had to pay that both ways.
Yeah, the toll was unexpected. Didn't expect it to be that sort of cost, but it is what it is. That's fine. Did look up this morning to see if there was a cheaper way of doing it, or if you can get round the toll. And unfortunately, there's not. So you have to pay the toll regardless.
Oh, sorry. Angel. Angel.
So just wake her up. Come on.
Come on, puppies.
Okay. I think we've bored her.
But, so priority card is a go.
Yeah.
If you can get it, if you're entitled to it, then
get it.
Then 100%. And yeah, we had a nice time. We enjoyed the time together.
Yeah, obviously you'll see all this in the previous video, all the video and pictures. We'll insert some pictures throughout this video as well. And with that, if you enjoy listening to people ramble on and just completely changing between stories, because that's how their mind works, and anything to do with Disney or family time or anything like that, or even if you'd like to see videos about our animals, could you subscribe, thumbs up, all that jazz. If you want to know, and if you have got any questions to ask, and if we can answer them, if you put it down below, we will try to do that to you. Well, we will try and get back to you if we know the answer. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you again soon.